All right. Thank you all for joining us in our side of our Play Bigger community. I think it's important for people to come together, regardless of what brands, and be educated on what's happening in the industry, because I believe that we can always level up. And this group is an opportunity for all of us to connect, send referrals, and meet people. And once a month, my goal is always to interview someone inside of the group that you can always learn from. And with everything that's going on, it's just been crazy since Friday. I felt it was important to lead from the front and be part of the solution in helping everyone level up, pivot, and thrive through our next evolution in this industry. So we aren't going to get into all the details when it comes to the NAR settlement of $418 million. What we are going to focus on today is how we take action, be solution focused, so that we can help each other navigate through this. And today, I wanted to bring you all a special guest, somebody that leads one of the largest teams in the country, and who's probably what, Kenny? Number one, number two, number three? I don't know.
It depends on the day.
It depends on the day, right?
For EXP this week, yeah.
For EXP, and it is Kenny Truong, also known as Kenny Fast. And I love that Kenny does act fast. And there's nothing like learning from each other. We were on a coaching call yesterday, and this guy just puts things into action right away. So I have several questions for Kenny. And then if you guys want to kind of put some things in the chat, we can kind of see it. And I may ask Kenny some of them. So Kenny, for those that don't know you, if you want to just give a really brief, like who you guys are, what you guys did, anything that you want to add, and then we'll kind of get into
Sure.
like how you're leading your team.
Currently run the sales team of about 215 agents at EXP Realty. We're number 2 last 2 years for sales volume GCI units, and then 3 years ago we were number 1. Currently, we're number 1 and number 2 this morning. We're located in Bay Area, headquarters in Oakland, but we spent 8 office locations, 7 brick and mortar, from Oakland to Stockton to Sacramento to Hayward. So within like an hour and a half geographic reach from here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that he runs a really large team, several offices. So walk us through, like, you found out, what was your initial reaction about the NAR settlement, and like, what's like some of the steps you guys did to take like action?
Well, it wasn't a surprise because we've been following this case for the last 2 years. We've been pitching to our buyers. I'm friends with a lot of people at the CR director level. So I go to, I don't know, I have 2 conferences this week. I go to a couple conferences every single month. So I'm always in front of people, and this has been a concern for many years now. So I've been educating our team on psych about what to look out for. So when this hit, it wasn't really a surprise. Surprise was when they settled and how much it was for, and that doesn't really affect the end user, like the NAR members. Doesn't really have much of an effect on us. So when it happened, I was like, cool. I kind of went into deep diving mode into reading everything I can to find out about this case and get insights from professionals. Currently, I subscribe to like Real Estate News, RS Media, Housing Wire, Rob Hahn, Inman. So like it's a lot of kind of look for nuggets and different outlooks on this to best lead my team, I guess.
Yeah. And what did you guys do for Team Fast to equip your agents to ensure they were updated with what's going on? It's one thing for a leader to read it, but like, how do you get it out to all your team members?
Posting a lot of articles into our Slack channel. I mean, the case came out on the 15th, right? Today's the 20th, which was that a Friday or Thursday?
Friday.
Mm-hmm. So over the weekend, just deep dive. And then within the week, this Monday, we planned out a what's next for buyer's agent and held classes. We booked 3 classes. One was here in our Walnut Creek office. There's over 60 agents in the office right now, different brokerages coming to learn and talk about this settlement, what it means for us. And we booked one for the city of Sacramento in 2 weeks. And then 4 weeks from now, we're going to be in Brentwood teaching it. And then we're hopping onto a lot of these masterminds too. We have a mastermind next Thursday at 11 a.m. I don't have all details yet, but we have really big leaders like John Leslie Foster team doing hundreds of units a year in my market. Brett Jennings, one of the top billion-dollar brokerages at side. So we're forming a mastermind, a lot of people. And then I'm already jumping ahead and trying to schedule out 8 or 9 more masterminds with different groups of people to hear their insight, like lenders or listing agents or buyer's agents or any brokers. So we're trying to jump ahead and get collectively the best ideas from different people.
Yeah, I love that you're getting different groups together, because it's good. The more educated we are, the more that we could figure out what we need to do next in our business. And when you have that information, I'm sure you'll probably post it for people on your
Yeah.
social media, because you're a guy that
Yeah.
has 1,000 stories.
And I think I have a lot of ideas on. I mean, I think I'm thinking about this for forever. I think about it every morning and night. But I would like to hop in these masterminds and then have someone tell me my idea isn't good. So okay, so then I don't lead my team into this idea or this thing. So right now we're just in the early stages. So right now no one knows what to do. We can only speculate what we might want to do, and then that's why we're at least on the bare minimum we're educating our agents on what this means. Like the simplest two things I would tell buyer's agent that doesn't quite have an understanding what this is. The field for commissions, buyer commission would be removed from MLS. You can't sort by commission. I don't know if you can write concessions and listing competition remarks. Sure, might be okay. You just can't. There won't be a field. And second, the biggest thing that will impact us, you can't show a house without a buyer broker agreement signed. And then the later part is like, we got to figure out like, okay, what do you charge? How do you sell your value and all that? But those two main things. No commission field in MLS, and you have to get something signed. So it's going to really change the environment of realtors, and I think it's really going to level up our profession. We're not just going. We're literally, like, not even kidding. We just can't just be door openers, because you need to sign a contract to open the door.
I mean, you definitely bring up a good point. You're going to have to articulate how the process actually works, and it slows people down from just opening up doors and saying, "Hey, you called on a sign, or you want to see a property, whether it's pending or not. I'm meeting you at the property."
Yeah.
Right. So I think I think it's a good thing for sure. A lot of agents, as you probably know, because you've been in different masterminds, are nervous about the changes. How are you, being at the forefront of your culture and making sure that it's not opposite, and that, and that
One thing to note is you have 4 months to prepare. I mean, nothing even drastic going to change right away. So those two things mentioned. So, if you I tell people to avoid Facebook. There's thousands of posts and comments. I actually scrolling on them looking for like good nuggets to get to my team, copy and paste in my notes. But really, like, if you think the market is going to be terrible for you, then it's going to be terrible for you. If you think it's going to be great, you see an opportunity for you, it's going to be great for you. You have all this time to prepare. I really love that. With this new market, it's leveling the playing field. We're all starting, not all exactly step one, but nothing unique is happening to you that's not happening to me or you or like wherever, right? We're all being affected by this. So what it is, who's going to be able to adapt and change the fastest and put something in place? Make sure, rather than worrying if you're going to be in business, because a lot of people will not be in business or will falling out. Why don't you focus on the things that you can control and to generate more business? So I see this as a huge opportunity to grab a lot more market share for my team, because I think the agents, kind of going on a tangent, I think the agents who are in business like 2 to 5 years right now have the best shot of like running this market, or that's been a long time, have a big book of business, because we're attending training like the agents here. We're well scripted. We have value. We're on social media. We have updated headshots as a professional. Like, we're doing all these things you're supposed to be doing. So I think they're well equipped. And then the agents who've been doing this long time, they already have shown their value. They have a relationship with their client, whether it might be a buyer or seller. So it's going to be easier to articulate and sell their value. But on the opposite of that, I think it's going to actually be harder for. I saw that. I think it was from Joe Herrera. Like, it will probably be harder for you to negotiate commissions with your family member, because they will want a discount. So then you got to become a better negotiator. So and then maybe people don't just want to work with a cousin that sold a house 3 years ago just because, it's free, right? They think it's free. I'm just going to hire this person. Now, like, your cousin says, no, you have to pay me a certain amount. Like, oh crap. Like, why would I pay you? Kenny down the street has sold 50 homes in this neighborhood that I want to buy in. You live an hour and a half away. You haven't sold anything. So, okay, now what? Okay, well, he does 1.5%. Whatever, and then you charge this, and then I think also we're going to deal with a lot of commission depression.
Yeah, compression for sure in the commission space. And I think you bring up a very valid point, is you're just going to have to really articulate your value, especially if it is a family member, and you are 2 hours, an hour away and haven't sold anything in 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see agents making mistakes right now with this?
Making mistakes on where? The buyer side?
Yeah. Or on the settlement, like where do you see like agents should, let me say it this way. Where do you think agents should actually focus more on buyers, listings? I know some people have opinions out there.
You can focus on, I mean, agents can focus on listings all they want, but realistically, most of the top listing agents have just been doing it longer. I have agents on my team that have done 50 transactions. Many of them, they've only touched like 5 listings, or probably even less, to be honest. So you need the buyers to become sellers, and you need to be with them early in the journey. So you end up, working with them a couple of deals down the line, and then that's how you get into higher price points. And then buyers, I would focus on, there's going to be a lot more opportunity. I think buyers agent have more opportunities to do more business, that do want to do more business, because now buyers are really going to shop. They're not shopping in the sense that they're reaching out to 5 different agents to show them homes and whatever homes they see that weekend, and the other agents have, on vacation. They just like, oh, I'm gonna write this up. It's all the same anyway. It doesn't cost me any money. I'm just going to work with whoever is available. So just know that buyers agent going to be more, because we were kidding, like here, the amount of time you spend on Amazon looking at a $20, $50 product for reviews, just for fun, right? Or the top 10 list. I love looking at tech gadgets. I spend so much time trying to save, not even save $100. I just want to know what I want the best or whatever. I spend all that time looking at a $50 product. How much time do you think they'll spend researching it's almost like a doctor, because this is, for some of you, this might be more important than a doctor, because this is the biggest asset of your life. If you don't have a life-threatening surgery, that aside, specialist or Stanford or something, you're gonna just look at, okay, I need I'm gonna use this more. Like, what do you call it? Surgery. You want to get your forehead,
general or specialist, yeah,
upgrades to your body. You're gonna do a lot more research, right? I think buying a house might be like that, because then you're gonna probably look at 5 doctors in these areas and this is what it costs. Great, then I go with this person because they have the experience. So think about it like that.
What's your thoughts? Because you guys, I like that analogy, right? You're going to do a little bit more research and not just go with anybody that can open up a door. Yeah. What's your thoughts? Because you guys are also a Zillow Flex team. Have they made any announcements? And they were.
The only announcement that they didn't really make that they made was in Real Estate News, when the spokesperson said real-time touring would not be affected, and if there's any changes, we will let you know. So both Zillow and Realtor.com, from everything I read, they have not made any like substantial announcements on how this would affect them. I do think it's gonna shake things up, but then I think there's a huge opportunity in online leads. I think I saw a couple of people talk about that too, because I would love to be a door opener, but now I'm a door opener with a contract you're locked into me with, and I can sell my value, and I can take these 2% conversion leads all day. They're lower percentage because they're just clicking on every website. But now they can click on every website and nothing's going to stop them. But now they got signed 10 contracts. They probably won't. It's kind of annoying. They might just click something, meet someone presentable, experienced, and trustworthy, and like, you know what? I'm going to commit to you. I don't know how the commission amount will fall in, but I do think online leads is going to be a huge source of business for people, because that's where you can get face-to-face with people a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus there's a lot of ad spend behind it.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys are doing, especially on leveling up the buyer presentation, the buyer, explaining the whole buyer process in today's world?
We're doing training. Like I said, we have a class right here. I personally, I can say I never signed a buyer broker agreement. I never had to use one. I've done hundreds and hundreds of. I was number 1 buyer's agent in Oakland for over a decade. So I believe in my ability to work with the client, and because I have a certain skill set. So I think without the contract, so buyers would just need to articulate that. And then we just did a quick little workshop here. So what it look like for a buyer's agent? How do you get ready? Well, you better have a strong LinkedIn, bios up on like HomeLight and Realtor.com and Zillow and all the stuff, right? And then you should have a strong social media presence with educational content, so they can trust you and see who you are. And then, like, I think boring stuff will prevail. You right now you're dancing on TikTok. It's cute because it's free, right? I want to work with the fun guy that has good dance moves. I don't have any. That's why I'm not on TikTok. But the people are gonna want the boring videos, like the educational stuff. This is what it looks like. This is how I saved my last client money. He almost lost $50,000, but I did this and I negotiated this way. They're gonna want more of that. They want a professional. They want to hire a professional. They want to hire. Like, I started dressing up. I've already have like since last year. But you want to look like professional, you need to dress like professional. Like, you can't just run around and. It's going to be less fun. Making money will be fun, but overall it's going to be less fun of a business because people will take it more seriously It's the people who are going to be left are going to have a much more better time and probably less stress, to be honest, way less stress. You're not driving around for hours upon hours of random showings. Like even the best online leads, I'm not taking into account like whether they actually transact or not, but like Redfin.com in my area, it used to be 11% conversion rate. I won an award for them actually 10 years ago, but they converted at 2.5%. Zillow Flex in my market and many markets converted at 4%. So you're saying I had to take 25 buyers out on the best, highest converting platform, Zillow. I had to take 25 buyers out on average, and one of them will buy something. Maybe 8 of them end up working with another agent. That usually, but now you're saying that all shifts, and I have opportunity to get in certain people, and they're tied to me if I can actually be a stronger agent. So what does it look like to be a stronger agent? So people really need to give that thought.
Yeah, I love how you're bringing this up, because a lot of people are saying, well, they're all going to go out of business. Here you are saying, like, and you're proving stats, right? Of, it's the fastest way to meet people face to face that want to actually see a property. Now it's up to you whether or not you convert them into a long-term client or a client that wants to actually work for you. Luckily for us here in Arizona, we've had buyer broker employment agreement because of the REO days, where most banks were not paying commissions, or they were paying a flat fee of $500 to $1,000 on a $30,000 property, $50,000 property. And the buyer's agent actually would say there's a difference because I'm 3% or 2.5%. And they actually would negotiate it with their offer before we even accepted it. So we've seen that. It's like what did you say? It's just another pivot, no different than like probably the pandemic. Right. I feel like right now we're in that time again where we're getting on as many Zoom calls to figure out the landscape of all of this and taking action.
Yeah, I think the state of Washington, from what I read in one of the articles, they actually require, I think maybe since last year, they actually require it. People still need to transact in Washington. It's going to be less agents doing it. At the end of the day, there's still on average 5 million transactions happening every year. The buyers don't care. None of this is going to affect if the buyer wants to buy a house.
Yeah.
It's just the wording, right? The details. So there's still 10 million sides happening. Like the big issue with the market is if 2 agents are competing and then one's willing to take less and they're both competent, then the commission gets dried down. Over time, that's going to happen. There might be a la carte services. There might be hourly rates. There might be retainer. There's going to be different models popping up. I don't know what all of them are, but then we're going to probably borrow like from the commercial space and other countries. The issue is, in the U.S. right now, I saw that the average commission is like $56,000. In the Bay Area, I think the average commission an agent earns around $86,000. That's pretty good for many areas.
86,000?
Yeah, I think it's 86, either 86 or 106. I think also in the article I say the broker. So it was at close.com. I'm willing to bet as a broker. If I had to guess how much an agent makes in the Bay Area as an agent in Bay Area, it's probably around 100. From our team, I know my numbers. We work mostly with a lot of new agents. I think they make around 70-something grand a year. That's pretty good. But if that drops to 50, I mean, and a 1-bedroom here rents for like freaking $2,500, it's not sustainable to stay in this business. So what's going to happen with the price, with the commissions compression, is there's less money for everyone, so everyone's going to compete. And then some agents just would not be able to. It's not worth it to stay in business, and then they would just leave the business. And then over time, and during that time simultaneously, as agents exit the business, the ones that are doing business is going to get paid less. We're going to be doing more volume with actually less headaches, with uncertainty in their business. They're going to scoop the market. So there's going to be a huge shift. Like I said earlier, I think the 2 to 5 year agents are going to do well because they're well scripted. They come to training. They're all tuned in. The agents will book a business. The listing agents will probably have their agents do open houses and meet people. I don't know how that's going to work with open houses. You're saying I can't show a house without contract, but they can just walk in the house into open house.
Yeah, regardless, that's a hot topic right now. Is open house.
Really, agents are going to have the hardest right now, and that's where I'm not really worried because we have really great training programs. And new agents, you technically don't have value as a new agent. You've never sold a house before, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like you went to years of school as a doctor, now you can do surgery. Okay, well, even a dentist, you have to clean teeth before you can touch someone's tooth, right? I mean, like
surgery, yeah.
Surgery. So
you have to be an apprentice first.
Yeah. So we don't have that. The barrier entry is so crazy. You pass 3 tests, you wait, take your exam, and then next month you're licensed. Now you can sell $5 million house. It makes no sense. And then you want to make that same amount of money as someone that's done 20 years in the game. So new agents are going to have a really hard time unless they train, like they really, I think they have a good time. They work hard because they don't know any not to say.
Yeah.
If they only say the things we teach them to say, and they do the things we teach them to do, and they do all the things we tell them to do, they'll be fine. And then the agents that are like family members, we all know agents that only work with family members a couple deals a year. It's a nice side income. They're gonna have a really hard time because first their family's gonna be cheap, and then they don't have enough experience to sell themselves. And then agents that are the onesie twosies. I don't know like how these independent brokers, and that's why the NAR case has protected 80%. I think 80% of people is protected is a small broker under 2 billion. It's great, but they're not plugged in. They don't have the tools. They don't use any tools. They're not in mastermind. They're not even plugged in the organization. They kind of just run the shop, right? I just, if you have an interview and let's just say that literally the store is called mom and pop. Well, you can work with mom and pop shop. The agent's been around for 20 years. They sell business because they have a storefront in that community and they sell 2 a year there. Well, like what are you gonna actually do for me if I hire you as a buyer's agent? They're gonna have a hard time. So it's different portions of the market that's going to be shaken out. I could probably start writing what those are down, but I've been giving that a lot of thought on that side.
Yeah. See, I know some of you guys are thinking like, wow, Kenny talks really fast. It's because he also processes information really fast, but he's going to give you like different scenarios of what's happening and where we can see future opportunities. By the way, somebody said they would love to see Kenny dance on TikTok. Just a side note.
Sign a contract. I'll do a private showing.
So anything else that like agents should be focused on, and where's your leadership right now and your leadership team? I know you guys run
right here in the office. We're training the 60 agents in our marketplace. We're going to ramp up the training, create transparency on what's happening, make sure all the agents are dialed in, understanding what this is, teach them to not say the wrong things to a client, and just amp it up. And then again, this has all happened since Friday, right? But we've been getting ready for this. So as more information comes out, we're going to let our agents know. I think we're going to hear a lot from the government. And like people are stupid online. They're like, well, how am I going to get paid as buyer's agent? You really think the government and DOJ is going to let you have an issue figuring out how to help your clients? Or VA buyers or I don't want to be too clear on that. VA buyers, FHA buyers, they can't get a closing cost credit. They'll figure it out. Then until July, the government will just make new things happen. This is the way it is, and you're good to go. So I would not spend any time worrying about that. I would right now hopping on these mastermind, understanding the basic technical part of it, so you can explain to like buyers. Imagine you're a buyer's agent right now. Hey, Raquel, I want to buy a house in July. Can you explain to me what's going on in NAR? I bet you 70% of agents cannot fully, they don't quite understand the field and the contract, all that. Well, you don't really sound like you know what you're doing. I'm going to call Kenny.
Right.
Or one of Kenny's team member, right? So you got to just educate yourself in that order, educate yourself on the very technical parts of it. That's actually how we're running our workshop today.
Yeah.
Understand the technical part, then understand how would you answer what your value is?
Yep.
Second. And then third, this is really easy. Why should I hire you as a buyer's agent? Just ask yourself that. That's a hard one. You never have to ask yourself that. And then fourth, we're gonna do into role play, script practice, and stuff on what your value is. Some of the stuff that I've heard online that I think has worked really well is, I gotta save it somewhere. I mean, would you hire you're divorcing right now? Will you hire your partner, ex-spouse's attorney to work for you? No. You wouldn't, right? Or, you can totally do your own taxes, but you hire a CPA, you have a lot of money, but you still hire a stockbroker or Merrill Lynch or a financial advisor. Yeah, you can totally do all these things yourself, but do you really want to? And then disclosures and all the stuff that you could potentially lose money, right? Too many agents right now are unprofessional with no experience, and they're actually putting their clients at risk and are losing money. Except the buyers don't know that because they don't know they're overpaying for a property or don't know. Like I heard a story that happens quite a bit, that someone bought a property from an out of town agent, and within 6 months they're selling it because then the buyer agents didn't know the area, and the selling agent's not going to tell you like that. But that's why, you gotta work with someone like and trust. And I think business will probably become more localized. That might hurt my personal team in the short run because we in COVID era, we kind of want to stretch ourselves a little bit, drive a little further for business, especially in this time. I'm driving. I mean, I would drive an hour for a big listing, but maybe more agents would start partnering up And then that's also the value add of being with a larger brokerage. You have more local insight, more partnerships, more off-market opportunities for buyers. Hey, we have a list of off-market. I'm well connected to these agents. I can negotiate you a better deal, save you money. I know insight with other brokerages, and that's why you're hiring me, because I have, even before all this, for years, one of my top value proposition talking to clients was not just because I've sold a lot of homes. It's like, I know most of the agents in this area, like, and they know me. I have a lot of listings, so they want to write on me. And then my other value is like, they're coming to my classes for training. Why would you hire them? You just hire me. And I don't know how I can flip that on the buyer side. I'm sure there's a way to do that too.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, what Kenny is and what you're saying is that you got to educate yourself. Like, even just like the little things, like what will happen in July. You brought that question up. Is like, there's another question and layer to that is, what will happen if you sign a buyer broker today and get into an employment agreement, but they don't transact till July, right? Is it when you enter the agreement or when you close, or like, what does that look like? So I think there's new forms always going to, I think our MLS or the state, at the state level, they are actually looking at all these forms right now. And I'm sure there's going to be changes.
I haven't used one. Again, that's something I'd say, make stuff up, but I was reading that California was one of the first states to like update their forms to include specifically commissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, ours is spelled out where it's very specific.
Our West Coast VP of brokerages gave us a rider. It's a not generic, but it's a template form for you to attach to your contract to get a commission. So I think all these companies will just figure it out. What like interesting thought I had earlier, because I just gave a presentation to Bank of America executives like half an hour ago, was where I go on that? Oh, like commissions could be compressed with a la carte services and all the other stuff, but right, like even in previous to like last week, certain companies like Anywhere Real Estate, Realogy. My previous company was with client was with Realogy or Compass, big companies, right? They do massive business, probably 10% of all the deals. You had to get broker approval to get a lower listing commission. I'm not gonna say what the number is, but if you got lower than a certain point, you had to get approval. And many companies actually would not allow you to take a lower commission, because then it keeps the brand presence. I'm using the word luxury loosely, like luxury presence, brand, just higher level branding on the listing side. I get it, but what would these companies do in this new market? You don't want to be, because in a way, you also that thing, like you might want to charge less, right, for whatever. But what you do, and like, let's say I charge $50 a door, and then all of a sudden that your agent's here, like, I want to do that, and then you're bringing everyone's income down very quickly. So this hasn't even been discussed yet. I'm curious to see who actually writes about it first. It probably won't be me. But will brokerages allow lower commissions, or what would that look like? Would they have a standard that you have to have? Because you wouldn't want, I'll use Sotheby's because they want to be luxury. They are luxury. Like, you would not, Sotheby's broker probably would not want a bunch of the buyer's agent charging $5,000 flat fees. Well, there's no rule for that right now. And what if the agent wants to do it and that their livelihood's on there, right? So that's an interesting topic that no one's even dealt. Like, that's the stuff that I try to think about now that no one's dealing with it yet. Because right now everyone's trying to like figure things out. But look forward, what would the industry look like? I'm already seeing people talk about a la carte and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like, that's some stuff no one has answers to yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's no different than on the listing side where people actually had tiered models for 1%, 2%, 3%. Or if we couldn't sell your house, we'd buy it back for free, couple asterisks on, with that. So I think you're going to see that, moving forward on the buy side, there's going to be a range of maybe tiered models, flat fees of how you just operate and how you can truly like articulate the value that you bring to the table as a buyer's agent.
Yeah. I mean, the question for everyone, I can't see anyone here, but I mean, I think on average, like a good buyer's agent, because I talked to a couple of them, 6 to 10 showing somewhere and the buyer ends up buying the house, because then you know how to ask the right questions, put the house in perspective, range, all this stuff. You're not just showing them whatever. But buyers, I'm sure if they're shopping around, they're probably seeing more homes. In this new world, if they commit to an agent and they can't reach out to 10 agents to show them homes, are buyers going to make a decision faster when you bring
up a really good point. Yeah.
Would they have to see 10 homes? Would they see 5? I don't know. Like, I feel like it will probably be less homes they're looking at, or will they see more homes with the same agent because they're not like sitting around being chauffeured by different agents. I don't know, but those some things to
Right.
think about. Regardless, like there will be same amount of buyers out there buying homes. There will definitely be less agents. It's just you need to be one of the agents.
Yeah, for sure. Any like last minute advice to the agents today?
I would say, man, it's hard. I'll say like talk to your people in your office mastermind, but they're just gonna be talking about the wrong stuff. Keep your eye out. Just read the technical stuff. I don't know, like I don't know where your source of information is, but these masterminds, like this kind of setting, you're probably gonna get better information than reading the headlines. The headlines are all very wrong. Like they're gonna give you the wrong information, and you're gonna give the buyer the wrong information. All of a sudden, they talk to someone savvier, with more knowledge, and you're gonna look stupid. Like, what's this? Like the end of the 6%? No one ever sells 60% like flat rate or the common standard.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, is way far from that. But when you start speaking headlines, this is where it's dangerous. Like I speak a lot of headlines, but when you start speaking the wrong headlines to your consumers, you're gonna look stupid. So I would say take a breather, chill out. Literally nothing has changed yet. You have 4 months to prepare for this. Just one thing we suggested today was, yeah, if I had one piece of advice, I would say this: now that people will have to hire you and decide what they want to pay you, and if they want to pay you at all or hire you at all, go in incognito mode on your browser, look up yourself and see what you find and would you hire you. Do you have reviews? Do you have a strong social media presence? Do you have educational videos? I think YouTube will be a big hit. Like here's 10 steps about the buying process. It sounds really boring, right? But I don't know, Shannon Gillette in Phoenix has a good video series about that. Someone to look out for. Kyle Wisso in San Diego. Like, and then dress up like a professional. I've been pushing my team because, yeah, the
First
amount of times
impression.
on the people in gym stores just left. I mean, it's your friend, sure, whatever, but leaving, just got out of the gym, sweaty, all messed up. You're trying to earn a lot of money. You look like a mess. So you gotta, dress the part of how much money you want to make. I would say. I think we're gonna really be stepping into Asia with higher level professionalism.
For sure.
So casualness, it all depends. I mean, it's, if you're in, like I was talking to my friend Troy, the people in Orange County, Ventura dress is different from Malibu Beach. The dress is different from, I don't know, LA Coast. I'm just making stuff up. I don't really areas that well, but if you're at certain price points, like the ultra luxury are like more cool, common, casual. But for the most part, if you guys know me from prior to building this mega team, I dress up every day for business. I dress up 7 days a week, like business casual for the first 10 years of my career. I did not show up to any appointments in streetwear. And then, COVID came, is much more casual at leisure wear. I'm sorry, but leisure wear is not going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year unless those really are your close friends. But you want to build a business, a big business, it's really hard. So, and then on the flip side, you wouldn't wear that to a listing appointment. You have been wearing that to a buyer's appointment. So treat your buyer appointments like your listing appointments, because now you have to negotiate. It's the same thing on the buyer side, essentially now.
At the end of the day, it's a job interview for them to hire you. Right. Yeah. And so how would you dress if you were actually applying to be their realtor? And I just remember this even earlier. I think California, I started in California. We had to wear suits at our listing presentation until it got more relaxed. And then I think it's a very different vibe in Arizona because it's a little bit hotter here.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a big brokerage here like that, over $1 billion+ in their prime. You're required to wear a suit.
We were required. Yeah.
I don't know how that works with, 1099 required, but I've heard people
like it was encouraged, I would say.
It was encouraged to wear a suit.
Yeah, and I think like you said, you just got to adapt to the times. And here's some of my key takeaways. Anything else, Kenny?
No, that's it for me.
Yeah. So I would say some key takeaways for all of you guys is make a commitment to actually be informed, lean in, level up on the opportunity, stay out of the drama, the negativity, the panic. There's people that you could reach out today, even within this group, you could reach out to Kenny or me on social media. Listen to very well trusted advisor, and I say an asterisk, that are actually offering solutions, right? And I think it's time to actually look at your buyer consultation, the process, get good at holding good buyer consultations. And I think you're going to actually have to have more buyer appointments because you're going to be competing on the buyer side that we didn't normally have to really truly compete as far as the listing side went. And I would say get really good at explaining how compensation works. I think that's coming. That's not going to be a surprise in July. So get your buyer broker employment agreement. If you guys have one in your states, look at it, at least read it, figure out what's on it. And then at the end of the day, this is an industry where we always have to demonstrate our value, whether you're a buyer's agent or a listing agent, and it's no different. And so I think community is key. Getting around, Kenny said it several times, getting around different masterminds, getting on Zoom calls so that you can
or host. I just thought about it right now. Like,
yeah.
You know, a lot of us run teams or with a company you're with, real one with ESP that has value in supporting other agents. Why don't you be the first in your market, like we did right now? We have 60 agents here, many from other companies. Why don't you be the first in your market to grab a bunch of team leaders or actual broker, probably indie broker owners? I think the corporate ones might clash heads or not in their guidelines, whatever. Like bring people together. It could be a brewery, coffee shop, whatever. Just bring the best minds together, mastermind, exchange ideas, or if you can host a spot with different people. There's a lot of people craving knowledge right now. And like I saw this, someone in my market, an appraiser, not even an agent, is like, who wants to see my interview with this CSO of a different company? And they're like, drop the word NAR. There's hundreds of comments like, wow, people need the information. They're willing to hear this coming from an appraiser. I mean, nothing against an appraiser. They have nothing to do with this thing. So, but he's right. But then, be the person, be the leader in your market, and it's going to pay off. Because then, as a buyer's agent, you want to get your offer accepted. You might be the agent that brought that listing agent that's been around for 10 years and don't know what to do. Bring in and like get them educated. Next time you write an offer, maybe you get an offer accepted. So like just bring people together. Use this time to connect, and you can be a leader. And there's going to be a lot more opportunities for you, whether for your company or for your team or just being a nice person. That's why we have the 3 in our offices. I'm trying to launch like 10 Zoom masterminds. We're taking advantage of this to bring as much value to people.
And I think what's really cool about you, Kenny, is that you always come from abundance and you're willing to invite anybody, because I believe that this is open to all brands, all brokerages to come to your offices. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, anyone wants to grab me for a call, talk to your team, hear my very strong opinions, call kennyfats.com. You can book me. I'm gone in Nashville this week. I'm leaving tomorrow for John Cheplack's 2-day mastermind, and then I have a fast with my ESP group. So I have 4 days of masterminds with the smartest people in real estate. So hopefully I'm excited to go learn something new to bring back to our table. I think like some of the things like I look forward to, like I know like John Gletch does it really well. A lot of these top buyers agents have special programs. Naming one helps, like the buyer experience program or the VIP elite VIP buy program, but you have a buy-in for so you can spell it out at a presentation, or you can have like a list. This is our program. This is what we do for you. We have access to off markets. We have access to the best vendors, contractors. We have we'll save you costs. I'm making stuff up by now. Like we'll save you costs on escrow, title. We have connections to home insurance. Like you got to create a program of why someone wants to work with you and sell that as a package. Well, if I work with Kenny, I get the Kenny per life program or something. You got to have that. If you have that, you can sell that as a thing that differentiates yourself from their company. Because at the end of the day, most of us will have the same researces and the same training. So you gotta, if you can, like I think
every time package your value is what you're saying, right? Yeah. It's a marketing opportunity to package your value and stack your value with all the resources that you have all in one, so that it's digestible for a buyer in today's market, which I think is really cool. Yeah. So at the end of it, I think that keep surrounding yourself with people, right? And get educated, and just people that actually force you to play bigger and help you truly like understand the landscape of the real estate game as it changes constantly. So with that, thank you, Kenny, for your time. I know Elias was supposed to come on, but I know he's hosting a mastermind. If we did have some time, he was going to hop on, but it looks like you guys are still running that as we speak. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a good one. And thank you for hanging out with us today.